Okay, now I'm going to show you how to manipulate more complex data in order to make a graph that has multiple data sets on it. In other words, I've got multiple different variables, or different, in this case, different amounts of catalase, and the average of different amounts of catalase on a single graph. So I've got a lot of data here. While I had the record button stopped, I actually took the average of all three control trials, and I have that in column I. I took an average of the 1/2 ml of catalase trials, and I have that in column R. And then I also took an average of the 1 ml trials in AA, and of the 1.5 mils, and that's in 1.5. For some reason, I don't know why, but Excel is glitchy. So if I want to have this data, for some reason, I can't have my time right next to that's my independent variable is time, right next to my dependent variable. So the first thing I want to do is add a column, and I don't know why this works, but I do know that I haven't been able to get it work if I haven't added a column and separated the independent variable. What happens is the independent variable just ends up being a line in itself, and that's just a mess. So I'm going to highlight B with the arrow down. I'm going to go up to cells up here in the home menu, and I'm going to hit insert, and it's going to insert a row right there. Okay, so now I'm happy I have a row in between here. I also don't want the time for any of the other runs, because they should all be at 0. So if I make sure that in row 4 all of the times are 0 all the way across, which they are, I can actually get rid of all of the times, because the only time I want is right here in column A. They should all match up at the same time. So I'll get rid of column E again by hitting delete. I'll get rid of column G. Right, I've still got the pressure. I've got my average here right next to some data. I want to put a column in between those data. So there we go. So now I've got my 3 independent trials in C, E, and G, which I'm not going to want to graph. And I've got my average in column I. And that's what I want it to look like. So I'm just going to go through and do that with all the other columns and get it just the way I want it to look. Now remember, the first thing you want to do is save all your original data as a new file. And when you start manipulating it at the various stages, you want to make sure to save it. So this file I actually had saved as enzyme catalase averages. Now I'm going to save this as a new file, so at every step I don't have to redo anything. So in this case, I'm going to go and I'm going to save as. Right? I'm in the right place I want to be. Enzyme averages, let's see what I want to do. No times. And I'm going to save that. And I'm going to get rid of all these and get rid of the columns and get rid of all the times. And in the next video, I'll show you how to actually graph it.